What's up everyone, it's your boy Felix the Fox, and today we are doing my top 5 biggest takeaways that happened for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that happened today. So let's get right into it, no cuff, no fluff. Coming in at number 5, we have Elden Ring coming to the Switch 2. That's right, I thought Elden Ring might come to the Switch, but I knew it couldn't handle it at first. So I was telling my friends and telling everybody, I think this is coming out with the Switch 2, like launch day. Now it hasn't been confirmed that that's happening, and because it's not confirmed it's happening on launch day for the Switch 2, I don't think it's happening, but I am very excited for Elden Ring to come to the Switch. I love Elden Ring and From Software games in general, but Elden Ring is definitely my top favorite right next to Bloodborne, which again, speaking of which, we will get to that later. But Elden Ring coming to Switch 2 and being portable, being mobile, I'm so excited about that, so stoked about that. I know if you have a Steam Deck, you're already there, but for some reason having like a game, an M-rated game that's as gory like Elden Ring, like how Dark Souls 1 is on Switch and on a Nintendo console, is just so amazing to me. I love stuff like that. All right, coming in at number 4, I have the Switch 2 upgrade. Now, I am a little worried about this because if it's anything the way the PS5 upgrade works, like speaking of Elden Ring again, the PS4 version of Elden Ring runs a lot better and smoother than the PS5 version or the PS5 upgrade. And that's just really weird. Like, games that were made for the PS4 that just have a PS5 upgrade or have a PS5 version tend to, for some reason, except like Call of Duty, run worse on the PS5 version. And I don't know why that is, but knowing Nintendo, and you're probably gonna have to pay for it because sometimes it's mostly free with the PS5 upgrades, but knowing Nintendo, they're gonna make you pay for it. And on top of all of that, I think they're going to do it right. Seeing Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm really excited for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, more probably than those two games, is that they look really good and the frame rate looks okay, but is it going to be worth it? That's why I'm very excited about it, because Nintendo could pull it off, but Nintendo is also very stubborn. So we're going to see how that goes. That's why I have it sitting at number 4. Coming at number 3, of course, the start of the whole thing, the biggest thing, Mario Kart World. Now, I am not the biggest Mario Kart lover out there. I love Mario Kart. I love playing with my friends. I love playing with different people, but it's not like, I don't buy a Switch for that reason. It's not like my main game. Like, I put hours on it, I put my time in, but it's not my main thing. But this looks incredible. That's why I had to put this on the top 5, because I thought about putting it in honorable mention, because the other two are huge things that definitely don't compare to this. Well, I just thought that this game looked way different. Like, the ability to drive anywhere you want and how the game looks, how the characters look, how the world looks, the way it's designed, looks amazing and incredible, and it had me stoked. Like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was like, oh yeah, that's coming to Switch, and it's gonna be the biggest game on Switch. That's great. But this really feels like an oomph to it. Like, Nintendo really just grinded their gears and really worked on this game, and that's what I'm really excited about. But coming in at number 2, and watching this live was crazy. Watching the chat go absolutely feral during this was absolutely wild. We have Hollow Knight Silksong. Yeah, that's right. That clip was absolutely nuts. That clip was crazy. They just threw it in there, and then watching the chat just explode on site was absolutely wild. Right next to that, I want to split this one into 2. We have Hades 2, because I went absolutely nuts when they announced that. We knew Hades 2 was a thing, and it's been happening, but both of these are sequels to games I absolutely love, and I can't wait to make specific videos of them on this channel. That's why I'm so excited that these two were announced. So they are both taking that number 2 spot because they're both sequels. And before we hit number 1, which I think you could all probably guess what it is by now, but before we hit that number 1 spot, we're going to go over the honorable mentions, which I have just a couple, not going to take too long. We have Game Chat. I'm mentioning this because A, it's about time, but B, I'm really worried about it because I think it's going to sound horrible, because I'm the type of person that would rather hop in the Discord. I'd rather hop in a Discord chat, do it that way, not have to worry about the game exiting out or different games we're playing. But it's Nintendo, and they're kind of like Apple in this regard, where they kind of wait on something and see if they can do it right. Now, sometimes that doesn't always work out, obviously, but I think this one, they're really taking their time and being like, okay, how can we perfect game chat? I mean, they've had the C button like censored and like hidden away for how long? Like at least a year we've had the leak about the C button, and like people are thinking it means connect or like cast or whatever. No, it's game chat. So, I mean, it's kind of like on a PS4 controller. You have your mic right here and you have your share button. So I'm thinking they're like leaning into that a bit. Could be wrong though. Next, we have the new Hyrule Warriors game. I am very excited about this for one big reason. A, I love the Warriors game. I love Warriors games in general. Shout out One Piece Warriors 4. That game's incredible. I really like Warriors game, but Age of Calamity does not run well on Switch at all. It's a great game, great story. It's a fun playthrough, but it doesn't run well. So I'm hoping A, Age of Calamity gets a Switch 2 upgrade and it works well, and B, that this game just on day 1 launch just works perfectly, because I am really excited for the Imprisonment War. I made one of my first videos on this channel, actually, was talking about if there was a Tears of the Kingdom, like 3, or, you know, Breath of the Wild 3 or whatever, what would it do? Would you play as the Ancient Hero? Would it be during that time of the Imprisoning War? It doesn't look like we see the Ancient Hero yet, at least, as far as this recording is going, but we do see the Imprisonment War happen with all the Ancient Heroes, and that is super exciting, and I'm super excited for that game. Next, we have DK Bonanza. I wanted a 3D Mario. I wanted it bad, but it's okay. We don't always get what we want, but Nintendo really looks like they had fun making this, and you can say what you want about the redesign. I'm not going to say anything about it yet. I need some time to sit with it before I make that, like, hot take, if it's going to be a hot take, I guess. But y'all, if y'all have your mind made up, definitely hit it in the comments. Let me know what you think. But I really am going to take my time before I talk about that redesign. Next, we have the Nintendo GameCube being added. Okay, yeah, that's great. That's awesome. But we're never, ever getting the OG Pokemon games. Ever! Why do you do this to us? Anyways, coming in at our #1 spot, we have, of course, the Duskbloods. I hope that's right. This game was blowing my mind during the trailer. The chat was going crazy. I was going crazy. I thought it was Bloodborne on Switch at first, within like the first 2 seconds, because I was like, oh my god, they're putting Bloodborne on Switch. Like, Sony finally gave it up, or Sony finally like locked in. You know, it's locked at 30 FPS. That's why we don't have a PC port or a PS5 port of it, and all these things. But the Switch runs natively at 30, so maybe it was that. And then they hit us with something completely brand new. I mean, the entire time I was like, well, this definitely is a Bloodborne. I mean, it's related to Bloodborne. It's definitely something that's connected to it. And further looking into it, now we know, I'm going to throw a screenshot up on the screen. Apparently, according to From Software, it is a PvPvE game. So here's my thing. Here's what I think it is in the most like broad and vague way possible. It's Elden Ring, Night Rain, but for Bloodborne and for Switch. Because I don't think Elden Ring, Night Rain is going to be on Switch. Could be wrong. Might be on Switch too. But imagine if it doesn't run that well for how that game is. Like, okay, Nintendo, we're going to make an exact Elden Ring, Night Ring, but for you. And we're going to give you Bloodborne. We're going to give you Bloodborne, Nintendo. Oh my gosh, they did it. They just gave it to him. And it, like, today was a big day. Today was a big deal in gaming history. And some people think the Direct could have gone a lot better. But I think that ending with the Duskbloods just shifted the gaming landscape on its head. Because it's showing that From Software and Nintendo like to play together. Like, everybody's heard the story of, oh, you know, Breath of the Wild was so good, the people at From Software made Elden Ring because of Breath of the Wild, and then people at making Breath of the Wild couldn't play, you know, Elden Ring because they were working on Tears of the Kingdom so much. So you know these people like to play ball together, they like to play nice. You also have Sony and Xbox in there right now. But now recently with Xbox and Steam playing nice together, we could maybe see something between Sony and Nintendo playing nice to each other. Now again, Nintendo really is in their own little world over here. Like, it's really Xbox and Sony and like Microsoft and all that just kind of like fighting together, right? I know I said Microsoft, but you get my point, because of computers and Windows and all that and Steam, right? And then Nintendo's just over here just like yapping, doing their own thing. They're going over to this developer. Think about it. They went to Activision. Where's the Call of Duty announcement? What happened to that? But it doesn't matter. I think this is way better. I'm way more excited about this. They're over here talking to these other developers. They're not worrying about the console wars and the little kindergarten, high school stuff that's going on over there. They're being big dog on campus again. This is 2017 all over again. They're ready to dominate the next console wars again. And instead of worrying about whatever Sony's doing, instead of worrying about whatever Xbox is doing, what their console, they're just sticking to what they know works, and then asking all these other developers, hey, you know people are going to buy this because it's us. So how about we make an agreement? What can you do for us? I mean, Hogwarts Legacy, thank God, is getting an upgrade. I mean, that game run horribly on Switch. It run horribly. So I think the Duskbloods is the #1 biggest takeaway for this Direct, because it is shifting the gaming landscape entirely, and no other studio is doing that. No other developer is doing that right now. And I think in 2025, in the next 5 years, the gaming industry is going to change dramatically because of Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. I was going to do this way earlier in the morning. I got up, it was early, I got dressed, I drank my coffee, everything, and they started it earlier than I thought. I thought it was at 9 my time. It definitely wasn't. I was definitely an hour behind. So I just, you know, instead of having to do it live like I wanted to, I just decided this was a good idea. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.